Good evening. Welcome you all to the Tuesday, March 11th Planning and Zoning Commission for the City of Lockport. So I'll call this meeting to order, and I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Kathy, roll call vote, please.
You got it. Wheeler.
Here.
Garland.
Here.
Maloney is here.
He is here.
Lopez.
Here.
Peters.
Here.
Calderon.
Here.
Quinn. Quinn is absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you. The minutes from last month's meeting were provided, and I have one comment on those, Kathy, under new business. There is a mention on page 3 there. Talked about parking spaces, capacity for students was 156, and then it said only 10 parking spots are identified on the plan. I think that was on the plan for drop-off. I think there are like 28 total spaces for that. It was just a clarification. Okay.
And also the chairman needs to be updated on the left side.
Oh, I didn't even look at the left side. Dave still lives. Thank you, Kathy. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes with those notes?
So moved.
So, motion by Wheeler, second by Garland. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, we have a public hearing with case 2025001. And do I have a motion to open this public hearing?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Garland,
I'll second.
second by Calderon. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Kimberly?
Thank you, Chairman. First case before you tonight is a special use permit for an auto repair shop for the property located at 1603 South State Street. This subject property is zoned C2 Community Commercial, and it is impressed with a special use permit for auto repair, which is currently expired because the prior repair business stopped operating for more than a year. The lot is considered a non-conforming lot due to its smaller lot size, lot width, and setbacks. The property has an existing 1,200 square foot concrete block garage, which has been used for auto repair in the past. The building is already set up for auto repair with a vehicle lift, 2 overhead doors, office area, and triple drain inceptor. The new business will be a small-scale general auto repair shop with specialty in certain collectors' cars such as classic BMWs. The applicant anticipates having 1 or 2 employees once the business becomes established. Additionally, he intends to do small-scale internet auto sales by appointment only. However, no outdoor display would take place on premise. There's no new development. The existing conditions are primarily non-conforming. And I displayed the Plata survey here for you. So as you can see from the Plata survey, the existing building setback is approximately 11 feet from the State Street right-of-way. There's enough space there for vehicles to ingress and egress into the building, allowing customers to drop off or pick up. However, not enough space to allow parking along State Street. Parking is available in the rear of the building. The rear yard does not have frontage. However, the neighboring property, which is Tattoo City, has direct access to Division Street. There is an ingress-egress easement illustrated on the plat. Currently, the rear yard is gravel, and it is enclosed with a chain link fence. The gravel parking lot is deemed non-conforming. The current code in effect requires parking surfaces to be paved. The staff memo states that the driveway would need to be paved within 2 years. However, upon further consideration of the existing conditions, having to cross a neighbor's property, staff will review the parking conditions in 2 years and determine if the gravel could remain in lieu of the paving. Screening, the rear yard is visible from Division Street and to pedestrians on the I&M Canal Trail. Screening is needed along the rear of the property. The existing chain link fence is non-conforming. It can remain with slats as long as it remains in good condition. However, at the time that it needs to be replaced, a solid privacy fence comprised of wood, vinyl, or even composite is required. Landscaping is also encouraged, can be used as a suitable screen. This will be a condition of approval. Display, storage, and trash enclosure. Business operations need to take place within the building. Storage such as long-term vehicle storage, tires, car parts, or materials cannot be stored outdoors. An existing trailer is located on the property, and the trailer will need to be removed within 6 months of approval of this special use permit. The method of trash removal is unknown. However, if a dumpster is needed by the applicant, it can be located in the rear yard, probably would require special accommodations by waste management or the trash collector, but the container would need to be screened. Special use procedures and findings of fact. A special use permit shall be granted only if evidence is presented to establish the following. A, the proposed building or use is necessary or desirable to provide a service which is in the interest of the public. Staff finds that in addition to general repair, the proposed auto repair business is also a niche business which provides a unique service for classic cars and other, such as BMWs and other collector vehicles. B, the proposed building or use will not have a substantial adverse effect upon the adjacent property, the character of the neighborhood, traffic conditions, or utility facilities. Staff finds that the property is located on a major arterial roadway, State Street. Vehicle repair and similar businesses took place on the property in the past without conflict to the surrounding uses and did not impact traffic conditions. C, the proposed building or use will be operated so as to permit the development and use of the neighboring property. Staff finds that the criteria and standards set are intended to keep the repair business orderly and compatible. The use is appropriate for this property and location in the city. The use is a small-scale repair shop that will take place indoors, which conforms to the conditions of the C2 district. Engineering review, the city's development engineer, building inspector, and fire district have no comments at this time. And displayed on your monitor is a motion. Should the commission find the special use permit for an auto repair business acceptable, the following motion is suggested. A motion to approve a special use permit to allow an automobile repair business, including internet auto sales, within the C2 district with the following conditions. 1, internet auto sales shall be permitted by appointment only. However, the operation shall be limited to indoors only, having no outdoor display. 2, outdoor storage shall be prohibited. 3, new signage will need to adhere to the city's sign code. A separate sign permit application shall be submitted and approved for all signs. Any proposed outdoor lighting will require planning and engineering review and may be subject to a photometric plan. Screening is needed along the west rear property boundary If the existing chain link fence is in good repair, slats can be added for privacy. However, if the fence needs to be replaced, a solid privacy fence is comprised of wood, vinyl, or composite will be needed. And as an alternative, landscaping is encouraged as an acceptable method of screening. Landscaping requires staff review. And last, the rear nonconforming parking area shall be maintained in good condition and shall be reviewed within 2 years upon approval of the special use. I need to change that on your, when you make the motion, if you could make sure that it is changed to subject to review rather than what the original staff report stated. And this concludes staff's analysis. The applicant is here this evening to answer questions. This item will go to the Committee of the Whole on April 2nd, Wednesday, April 2nd. That concludes staff's analysis.
Thank you, Kimberly. Is the applicant here? Would they like to speak?
Chris Gronsky, owner of 1603 South State, looking to, as Kimberly said, start a little repair shop. Has been unemployed since last year, September. But cars has been like my hobby. That's what I've been doing, mainly older BMWs, classic cars, and did a lot of internet sales and mainly parts. On occasion, I do get a car, but it is strictly online internet sales. So looking to get my hobby going as a main source of income. So, and as Kimberly said, once I establish, looking to replace the fence down the line, like Kimberly said, probably vinyl, do some more repairs and keep the building clean, organized, and within the codes and everything.
Very good. Thank you. Any questions? The applicant, commissioners?
Hey, one for Kimberly. You had mentioned about enclosure for the dumpster. I mean, obviously, it's going to be kind of unique anyways. If the backyard's enclosed already, can the dumpster just be back there?
Yes, it can, as long as it's screened.
Right. Okay,
Yes.
cool. I didn't want to have extra steps there. Cool.
Thank you.
Kathy, do you know if anyone signed up to speak? Okay. Anyone from the public wish to speak? If you approach the podium, your name and address.
My name is Larry Brogan. I own Tattoo City and the Flower of Life Art Gallery next door to Chris's building. And the address of my place is 1601 South State Street. Chris, since he had bought the building several years ago, he took one of the biggest eyesores in the whole town of Lockport. I don't know if you guys remember what that place used to look like. A gentleman by the name of Robert used to own the place, and it was about as hillbilly as it gets. He had little child's race car bed, attached to the roof of the place, and the place was just, a dump. And he came in, purchased the building, and spruced the place up and, made that whole, corner of State and Division look a whole lot better. He has been a great neighbor, has kept up the property really well, even in the back property and stuff. He keeps the weeds at bay and all of that sort of stuff. And even in the past when the previous owner had run the auto repair shop, it never caused any kind of problems or anything. It's typically a one-man shop, and the business that runs in and out of there, or did in the past, didn't seem to cause any kind of problems for me being the closest neighbor, or any other issues. But I'd definitely like you guys to consider approving his means to be able to earn a living in his own building. So that's all I've got.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? With that, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion by Peters,
Second.
second by Garland. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. So, any other discussion internally?
No, I was just going to ask since he spoke glowingly of it, I was just going to ask if the neighbors were okay with the cross easements and all that has been an issue, but obviously it doesn't seem like it is, so that was the only thing that I had written down.
Okay. Nothing else. Do I have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve special use permit to allow an automobile repair business, including internet auto sales within the C2 district with the following conditions, 1 through 5 as noted in our document, with the slight change regarding to the parking surfaces will be reviewed in 2 years as opposed to being completed within 2 years.
Second?
Motion by Garland, second by Wheeler. Kathy, roll call vote?
Yes.
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 Lightfoot.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Calderon.
Yes.
And Quinn. I'm sorry, that motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, very good. And with that, we'll move on to new business. We have case number 2024-014, final development plan review for a coffee kiosk drive-through only for Lockport Square Lot 9B, 7 Brew Coffee. Who likes this one? Kimberly likes it.
Thank you. The next case takes place on Lot 9B, Lockport Square. This was initially the site for the Wendy's drive-through restaurant, in which the preliminary and final plans were approved in 2022. However, it did not get constructed. The site plan, the final site plan, is displayed on your monitor. It shows the coffee kiosk is focused on drive-through customers only. The plan illustrates that the coffee kiosk has 2 drive-through lanes instead of 1 that was proposed by the Wendy's. The proposed building is approximately 784 square feet, which is comprised of a 525 square foot building and a 250 square foot cooler that are joined side by side to appear as a single structure. The plan is in conformance with the bulk requirements. Adequate vehicle parking and queuing are shown. Street access, primary access comes from 159th Street and Edelman Road. This building shares a driveway with the neighboring multi-tenant building. Also, at the time that the Wendy's development was reviewed, a right-in, right-out access drive was desired. However, the site was challenged by a slope that is located at the northwest corner. The access was not provided due to the substantial slope. This condition was already approved by the Plan and Zoning Commission and City Council. Next, the final landscape plan is shown. The perimeter landscaping has already been implemented. However, there is landscaping proposed inside the drive-through lanes. Required foundation landscaping is not shown. The alternative landscaping is adequate. Decorative stone is used around the building instead of mulch, which was used in the existing landscape beds. The proposed building, let me show you the elevations. The proposed building is a pre-constructed building with an arched roof line that has a substantially different appearance than the surrounding buildings. However, the applicant agrees to match the color of the neighboring multi-tenant building with the same color combination with the black and gray that you see shown on the display. Concrete brick is called out on the elevations. The building has a pre-assembled outdoor one-piece walk-in freezer / cooler that is not integrated into the building's construction. However, it was placed adjacent to appear as a single structure. The east elevation shows that there is a pickup doorway instead of a window This is part of the Seven Brew business model. Staff walks out to hand the drinks to the customers to avoid spills, and it offers a personal touch. Building signage, Lockport Square has a specific sign criteria exhibit to ensure that the development has consistent wall signage. The applicant will continue working with staff, and a separate sign permit will be required at the time of construction. Menu and drive-through signage was not included with this submittal. However, it will need to comply with the Lockport Square sign criteria and the city code. All comments have been addressed by staff, and a suggested motion is displayed. A motion to approve final development plans for a Seven Brew drive-through facility on Lot 9B in Lockport Square with the following conditions. 1, all tenant deliveries need to take place on-site and not on the internal access roads located on the west and south sides of the property. And 2, a sign permit application for all proposed exterior signage is subject to review and approval. This concludes staff's analysis. The applicant is here. He has a presentation that will follow staff PowerPoint. Also, too, I just want to mention that this case will also proceed to the Committee of the Whole meeting on April 2nd. Chris, if you want to come up.
Good evening, Commissioners. Thank you very much for your time this evening. Seven Brew, so I'm with a company called Hubrew. We are a franchisee of Seven Brew. The territories that we have are the Chicagoland area, Northwest Indiana, Nashville, and Pittsburgh. We currently have open locations, 2 in the Nashville market, 1 in Kentucky, which is part of our Nashville territory, location in Dyer, Indiana, Naperville, Illinois, Round Lake Beach, Illinois, Lake Zurich. Huntley, Illinois is about to open next week, and we're starting construction on a couple more projects here before the end of the month, with hopefully many more to come in 2025, including in Lockport. So the entity for the applicant is Hubrew IL3 LLC. Property location, as Kimberly said earlier, is 16355 West 159th Street. The parcel is just under 7/10 of an acre and is part of the Lockport Square Lot 9B. Existing use is vacant. As Kimberly mentioned, it's a 784 square foot comprised of 2 different buildings, one of our main building and then a second from the cooler box and dry storage. The reason why it's positioned that way is because our concept's actually a modular concept. Our modular manufacturer is based out of Wichita, Kansas, and they ship us the building on the back of 4 flatbed trailers. Our canopy package comes as one piece. Our main 525 square foot box is another piece. The cooler and dry storage building is on another piece as well. And then it all gets assembled on site in a matter of like 4 days. The existing zoning on the parcel is C3 highway commercial. And as Kimberly mentioned earlier, we're here for the final development plan. A little bit about Seven Brew as a company and a concept. So the first stand is located in Rogers, Arkansas, outside of Pentonville, Arkansas, and Northwest Arkansas. There's currently 352 stands nationwide. It is a double drive-through concept, and it's a drive-through only concept. What's unique about our concept is there's no traditional speaker box or menu signage, as Kimberly alluded to earlier. Our team members are outside in the drive-through lanes, kind of like Chick-fil-A and Portillo's, on iPads, actually walking up to the customers' cars, taking orders at their cars. What we found by doing that is that it increases order accuracy. It actually allows for us to move people through the drive-through lane quicker and allows to create a fun, friendly, high-energy environment that guests want to come back to. Our operating hours are 5:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. on weekdays, and then we're open until 11 p.m. on weekends. A little bit about our menu. We are a beverage-only concept. There's over 20,000 unique drink options that you can order from a Seven Brew. This is comprised out of 6 primary bases, and then different syrups and other concoctions that customers like to order from us. The beverage menu items consist of espresso-based coffee drinks, chillers, teas, infused energy drinks, smoothies, and shakes. Here's an aerial photo of the site. Adjacent tenants to the west include Chipotle and Dave's Hot Chicken, and the strip center directly to the west across that north-south drive aisle. And then to the west of that is the Jersey Mike's and AT&T Center. To the east of us is where Noodles and Crumble are located in an existing strip center. What I also wanted to point out on this site is the landlord put in existing improvements in place, which we are leveraging all of those. There's the existing detention basin on the north side of the site that we'll be tying into. There's perimeter parking lot curbing, which we are working with. There's an existing trash corral which we're going to reuse, as well as perimeter landscaping and a retaining wall. Here's the boundary survey of the site. And here's a couple pictures I have of the existing conditions as it stands today. Like I said earlier, it's vacant except for the improvements that the landlord has put in there previously. Here is our site plan, the same one Kimberly showed earlier. Wanted to point out the double drive-through, as well as the building and cooler being pushed together. And from an access standpoint, we're utilizing the existing access points that exist today, which includes the shared drive access aisle on the east side of our building running north to south. Here's an exhibit showing our drive-through queue, showing a 27-car queue stack, so ample queuing there. And as I said earlier, our operating model is really geared towards pushing people through this drive-through as quick as possible. What we like to say is under 4 minutes from point of order to when you're driving away with your beverage in hand. Here's the same landscape plan that Kimberly showed earlier. And here is a rendering of our building. What's unique about this 7 Brew location, instead of our brand prototype are those canopies are blue. We've worked with staff to make sure that this is cohesive with the surrounding developments, and actually we're willing to change that color to black, as well as switch from our typical Nichihab panel exterior cladding to go with a full depth modular brick to be synergistic with the adjacent tenants that exist today in the adjacent strip center developments. Here's a rendering from the other angle, and then here are elevation pictures of all sides. Want to point out the extended parapet wall showing screening for mechanicals. And then our material color board representing the full depth modular brick and the other material items that you saw on the elevations. Here is our sign package site plan indicating locations of signs. As Kimberly mentioned, we are still working together to work through the north elevation sign, which is that circular medallion. All the other signs are conforming to code and the Lockport Square OEA. And with that, I know there were 2 conditions in the staff report that Kimberly mentioned earlier. We are accepting of those with deliveries to take place on site and not on the access roads to the west or south, and that we acknowledge the sign has to be separately permitted and reviewed. So with that, I appreciate your time this evening and happy to answer any questions.
Commissioners, questions?
I had a couple minor things. On the site plans, it looks like there's kind of like a, I don't know, faux brick type walkway across. Is that accurate, or?
Yes, and
Okay.
that is to match, Kimberly and Lance, please help me if I misspeak to this, but that was a requirement under the Lockport Square OEA, and we are complying with that, and that's why that is there.
Perfect. And then the other one was, my only experience with 7 Brew was in the south, and it was the summer. Is there any sort of temporary structures that get put up for the employees, or do they just kind of go in and out based
So we're
off of?
starting to investigate those.
Okay.
We've purchased heated jackets for our employees, as well as hats and gloves that work with it. The iPads, we circulate them on quick shifts so that they're not stuck outside for long periods of time. We've discussed adding exterior huts, kind of like what you might see at Chick-fil-A. It's still in discussion, because what we found from one that we trialed is that our team members didn't really use it. So,
Okay. Yeah, no, it was more so on the fact of, I didn't know if that had to be permitted, or if that would break any sort of, of our rule. I didn't think it did, but I just wanted to kind of see, because I saw that at Chick-fil-A this morning. I actually went to a Chick-fil-A. It's saw that, and that made me think of it here, so.
It's been discussed internally. It's not part of our standard on what we're looking to open with.
Yeah.
But I would obviously, if we look to add that, speak with Kimberly and Lance to make sure if there's any additional permitting needed for that, we would comply with that and go through the proper channels.
Excellent. Yeah, those were the two main things that I had noted, so, cool, thank you.
More just a question, curiosity. Since these are modular, how fast, you said 4 days it gets assembled, but from ground break to delivery, you're serving your first cup, like, what do you look at?
It should go quicker if the utility companies could operate
Good luck.
quicker. Exactly, right? In theory, we built one in Tennessee where the utility companies weren't slowing us down in 10 weeks and 4 days, including all site work.
Phenomenal.
In the Chicagoland area, working with ComEd and Nicor Gas, it's running about 14
2
weeks.
years? No, sorry. All right. Very good.
I've already been speaking with ComEd and Nicor about this site because that's about the time frame we have to start the process in order to not delay too much, yes.
Good man. All right, thank you. That's all
Thank
I
you.
have.
Well, I visited a Seven Brews somewhere between here and Nashville last year, and I just want to thank you for the finishes that you have chosen for this. It was a good coffee, but I thought I remember like blue neon signs, and I thought, oh boy, what's this going to look like here? Thank you for doing what you
Yeah,
did here.
absolutely.
I think it fits
You're
in really
welcome,
well.
yeah.
So that's my only comment. If we don't have any other questions for Chris, I would ask if anyone would like to make a motion on this case.
I'll make a motion to approve the final development plans for a 7-brew drive-through facility on Lot 9B in Lockport Square with the following conditions to apply. Number 1, all tenant deliveries need to take place on-site and not on the internal access roads located on the west and south sides of the property. And number 2, a sign permit application for all proposed exterior wall signage, including any menu boards for the restaurant tenant spaces, should be subject to review and approval.
Motion by Calderon. Do I have a second? Second. Second by Garland. Kathy, roll call vote?
Gonzalez. Wheeler.
Yes.
Sherlin.
Yes.
Maloney.
Yes.
Likens.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Calderon.
Yes.
And Quinn is absent. Motion passes.
Thank you. Chris, welcome to Lockport. Chris, I failed. Welcome to Lockport. Glad you're both here. Thank you. Okay, with that, I don't think we have any other new business. And I don't think we have any old business. And I don't believe we have any citizens to be heard. I don't have a report. Any commissioners, anything to report? Here. Kimberly, Lance, anything from staff?
The only thing that I'll add is we did get 2 proposal submittals for the RTA downtown plan study. We are in the process of reviewing and scoring those proposals. I don't know if an interview is going to be required for that, given the number of submittals that we had, but I will certainly keep everybody abreast as to whether or not that is happening. But those reviews are going to be completed by Thursday morning, and we're going to reconvene with the RTA on Friday and decide kind of next steps. It's the slowest process in America, but I'm hopeful that we can get started with a contract and get everybody signed up within the next 60 days or so. I will also let everybody know that we are kicking off the RFQ process with Arcadis for the Star Innovation District site on Thursday. And so our hope, provided everything kind of goes to plan, is that we would have an RFQ to be able to distribute in the next 30 to 60 days to be able to start to advance that project as well.
Very good. Good luck.
Thanks.
With both of those. With that,
Does it look like we're going to have an April meeting?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Does it look like we're going to have an April meeting?
I Yeah, plan and zoning.
Yeah, we have one item for April 8th, I believe is the Tuesday.
May, just to forewarn everybody, May will be a very significant, heavy meeting. Both Serenity Landing has submitted, Sadie Ridge has submitted, Limestone Villas, or Flagstone Villas has submitted, Heritage Woods, the senior living facility has submitted. So there is a significant amount of stuff rolling down the hill for May.
Okey-doke. Good to hear.
The Wendy's that was proposed on this lot is actually going to be on the next agenda on a lot that's located across the street.
For April.
April 8th, yes.
April 8th. Okay. So we should be back in April. All right. Thank you. Well, with that, I would offer, does anyone have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion by Garland, second by Peters. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Motion passes. Thank you.